Hey folks, what is up? It's a bull ahead, one big bugger, and I am coming at you after quite a while. And I know what a lot of you may be thinking, yeah, you recorded a few videos, you posted a couple of them, and then that was it. Well, let me explain a few things. Excuse the mess behind me. I washed my sheet and my bed protector last night, and I haven't put it together yet. But anyways, let me explain. Um, First off, uploading videos here, the kind of videos I upload, can take upwards of 5, 6, 7 hours because I have Cox, whatever they call themselves now, Xfinity, and they only have a 10 megabit upload. So a multiple gig, a 20 gig, 30 gig, 40 gig video takes hours and hours and hours to upload. Which is why there is an argument, as much as I may not like how they've handled business with me in the past, of going to Verizon Fios, because Fios has the same equal upload and download speed, so big videos upload in less than an hour, usually. Secondly, um, recently I've had an issue with my computer. Straight up, my computer, my near $4,000 computer, died. I was playing a game, and it just died. And it would reboot to a black screen, and reboot to a black screen. Then it would try to fix it and restart. It couldn't. It tried to restore. It wouldn't. I eventually ended up calling a computer repair company that's just up the road, Nerds to Go. I believe they're franchised in New England. The guy came over, fiddled with a few things, tried to do a few things. He says, no, I got to take it into the shop. I took it in the shop, and the very next day I ended up getting it back with the C drive replaced. Something had happened with the C drive. Well, things happen. I'm not going to be too mad yet. That's coming. I get it. I'm on my computer for 6 hours. Just 6 hours. Same thing. The game I'm in the middle of just locks up, and it reboots to black screen, reboots to black screen. Tries to restart, can't. Does a restore, the restore works. Brings up my video. About 2 minutes into restoring everything, dies again. So I ended up having to take it back to Nerds to Go. This time Nerds to Go was like, we're not going to make the same mistake twice. So they ran a full test on the memory. They ran a stress test on the processor. They pulled out the power supply, put in a new power supply, tested that. Still having issues, put the old power supply back. They went and tested the motherboard. They even called Asus, the maker of my motherboard, and went over things with them. And finally, the last one that they were pulling, because they're still having problems, was the video card. The single most expensive component in the computer, depending on what video card you buy, you're going to get. I love how white my face is right now, like really. Depending on, I'm just wondering if there's like a way to fix that, but I can't do it while recording. Oh well. Depending on what you get, will severely outcost the price of the motherboard and the PCU, and the CPU. Sorry, the CPU, the motherboard, and the memory in it combined, and the power source. I've got an extremely overdeveloped computer. You know, my whole idea is I'm going to be using these computers for like 5 years or so I need them to be able to do a lot for 5 years. My other computer's still going strong, though. The one I bought from CyberPower, it's still going great. The one that my girlfriend now uses. So, anyways, when they pull the graphics card, they notice the clip that holds the graphics card on the motherboard is missing. Now, it's screwed in the front, but the clip in the back that holds this very heavy card in the motherboard is missing. So they move the graphics card to the other slot that's available. Still giving the same issues. Pull the graphics card out completely and go with the onboard. We go with the onboard video display, and it works fine. They put in a lower end graphics card. It works fine. My graphics card is dead. My graphics card is very, 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 very dead. So, to get a new graphics card to put it in, they only charged me $150 for the work. I should have been charged a lot more. $2,000, $1,900 and change. Because the graphics card is like $1,500, $1,600. So for a full repair of my computer, I paid 3/4 of its value. I almost rebought it. I could have bought a new computer that's exactly the same built as this one, just with a slightly downgraded graphics card. Oh, and on top of that, on top of the 500 that I put out, and on top of the 2,000 I put out, I did end up finally getting this. Yes, it is a Dell. I got it from Nerds to Go. It was $500. It is not a gaming computer by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't have a very big screen. I believe it's 13-inch, maybe 15, but whatever. It's more of a business laptop. But I got it so I don't have to use my phone to put in my hours for my work or to collect my unemployment. If I need to do things online, I can do them here, and I can watch YouTube on here. I can watch YouTube on my TV, but it's nowhere near as good. I mean, the screen's obviously bigger and it's clear, but just the options and the convenience. So I bought this. So overall, within the past week, I've put out over $3,000. And I am not happy. You know, for the price of what it costs to fix this computer, I could buy another refrigerator and stove and have them installed in my kitchen, which I've also had done about a couple weeks prior to this. So I'm not nearly as far ahead. I'm still doing okay financially. I'm not hurting in any way, shape, or form yet. And I'm a ways off from that. But I'm nowhere near as far forward as I wanted to be because of it. And also because of what happened, I ended up losing the video data. So all the videos I recorded is gone. I don't want to switch over to Verizon yet if I do, because I still have another year. I'm still locked in the contract. I'm still in another year with Cox, with Xfinity, and I don't want to pay a penalty. And the service is fine. I don't mind the service. It's just the upload speed sucks. So I don't know if I'll do it. I want to get OBS. I mean, my girlfriend's figured it out, so I should be able to, because she streams occasionally. To stream on Twitch when I decide I want to record something, and then have it uploaded to YouTube, because Twitch can upload to YouTube for me. At least I believe it can. Pretty sure it can. It can, right?
Yeah.
Twitch can upload your videos to YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I'm slowly starting to get out of touch with technology. I don't know nearly as much as I used to. So yeah, that happened this weekend. It completely pissed me off to no end. I was extremely depressed because this monster mega computer that I built did that to me. The most expensive computer I've ever built, and in terms of specs, the most powerful and the best performing. It's kind of like a dream computer. The only way I could make it better is if I SLI'd two 1080s or put Titans in it, which if you've seen the price of Titans, you could build an entire computer more powerful than this one for the price of a single Titan card. It's not worth it. Not to me anyways. So, yeah. That's one of the reasons I've kind of stopped uploading a bit. I may start going over to Twitch. I may start, because I have the two screens finally. But other than that, Not much has gone on personally in my life. I have been incredibly frustrated with what is it? Customer service lately. Not Nerds to Go, but just in general. I bought a new grill back at the start of last month, back at the start of May. First time I've ever owned a gas grill. It's a Grill Pro. Nice big grill. I got it for less than what it was supposed to be because they mismarked the price on it. And it wasn't heating up properly. It was only heating up to about 300 degrees. It should get up to close to 500, if not more. So I called the grill company that makes it, and they want me to troubleshoot this son of a bitch on my own. Do this, do that. Hey, get some pictures of the burners running with everything removed and send it to us. And I'm like, this is a gas grill. And they want me to troubleshoot it with them on the phone. And then they're saying, well, what we can do if it turns out to be this or that is we can send you the parts to replace. Send me the parts. Send me the parts to put in myself in a grill that's not working right. It's working well enough. I haven't tried it lately. I'm probably going to use it within the next few days again. But I think it got up to close to 400 finally. It could just be the bottle that's on it. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not happy in any remote sense of the word right now about that. You know, I asked them, don't you guys have contracts with, repair people and you send them out? Because this thing's under warranty. Oh, no, we don't do things like that. And my computer. If I wanted to get my computer fixed, I would have had to RMA it. I know what an RMA is. I've dealt with that many times. I'd have to RMA a 50 plus, maybe 60-pound computer. I'd have to send the whole computer back, pack it, get it boxed, and send it back on my own dime for them to fix it. And what likely would have happened is they would have replaced the C drive, got it working, sent it back to me, and I'd had the same issue, and I had to RMA it again on my dime. Now, overall, I would have saved money, but my computer would have been gone for, especially with the protests going on and COVID going on, things are taking a long time to ship as other things get priority. It could have been gone for 1 or 2 months. I've been without my computer while they tried to figure out what was wrong, and I had to send it back and forth on my own dime. What good is a warranty at that point if you got to RMA something like that? Why can't there be contracts or things like, why can't they do things like you send it to a repair shop, you pay for it yourself, you send them the bill, and you get the money back? Places used to do that. But you don't do that anymore. There are many places now, you cannot call somebody. You cannot call. That you either get to leave a number and they call you eventually, maybe, or you have to write them online. You have to send them an email, or you have to use their website, ticket generator, and then you can only contact back and forth. Uber does this, Lyft does this. There are plenty of other places that does this. You cannot contact them in any way, shape, or form. There is no possible way to do it. Everything forces you to go through their app or online. You know, it was bad enough when they started getting automated. Then phone things got more and more automated. You got to slog through all this bullshit to be able to get to someone to talk to as a person. But now, lots of places won't even let you do that much. Lots of places won't even come out and fix your shit. They want you to send it to them to fix. It is the most egregious thing I can think of when it comes to customer service. They have literally taken service out of customer service. Now it's just customer. There's no service anymore. Some places do. I can't say anymore, but most places don't. Most places it's all about, oops, I forgot. My computer has a low power setting going on. Power and sleep. Let's go with an hour if it sits. And then 5 hours it'll go to sleep. Just for now. I'll worry about it later. Yeah, my screen went out is why. So yeah. There's no such thing as service anymore and customer service in many places. You know, the hoops they make you go through. Wish does something like this. You order something off of Wish, and it doesn't get there when they say it's going to get there. They tell you to wait another 30 fucking days. You know? Or they'll refund you the shipping charge, but, you know, not anything else. I know where you're ordering it from on Wish. You're ordering it from China. But still, it didn't show up within 30 days. Just wait another 30 days. And then if it doesn't show up, we'll give you your money back. How about you get better tracking? Many things on Wish you can't track. How about get better tracking so I can track where the hell my package is? It'll track the package up until it departs China sometimes, not always. And then that's it. You won't see any more tracking. It's kind of gotten a little ridiculous, you know? Before I go into anything else, I want to announce that today is the 13th. It is actually one day, and I purposely ignored it, after the anniversary that my wife passed away. So it has officially been 5 years since my wife died. And in 5 more days, it will be my birthday, and I will be 47, I think. Pretty sure. So, yeah, there's that. And I'm depressed because I was supposed to be checking into Disney at a big water park resort. Not at Disney, but just like a mile from Disney. This beautiful water park resort with this big, beautiful room. And then Disney. Let's go to Disney and Universal Studios. And that never happened. Because, well, COVID. And COVID's still here. And it's actually starting to resurge. With all the protests going on, and now Trump wants to hold major rallies, this is what we're getting. A very big resurgence. There are many places, especially down south, Texas and California and whatnot, where cases are not only rising, but ICUs are full. They're overflowing. There's one place, I forget where it was, that they're actually reopening a hospital in the football stadium because they're so overloaded. So, and a lot of people saying, oh, you know, is this the start of the second phase? No. This is a resurgence of phase 1. These places haven't peaked yet. Now they're starting to. And despite the fact that places like California are starting to record again some of the highest single-day number of cases ever since this started, LA County is opening up completely. They're going to phase 3. They're opening gyms, and they're going to allow concerts and this and that. They're projecting 130,000 deaths by July 4th. 130,000 deaths by July 4th. They were projecting 100,000 deaths by August last month. And we got through that in like a month. It was like beginning the middle of May, and we got right into it, in the early June. And it's just going to get worse because places are still opening. And I, for one, am afraid. I'm afraid like Massachusetts is going to open up, and I'm going to be exposed to people not wearing masks that have the disease because everyone wants to get back to normal. Those who are doomed, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And this is the same exact thing that happened to the Spanish flu back in 1918. The circumstances are a little different, such as the government's not hiding information because of a war. They're hiding information because Trump wants the economy to go back to normal so that he can have some kind of platform to stand on when the election comes up, which is why he's wanting to hold his rallies. His rallies ain't going to do anything for him. They're not. They're a personal ego boost of a few thousand people cheering for what he says. Trump's approval rating is 39%. 39% for President Trump. That's Jimmy Carter levels. And we know what happened with Jimmy Carter. If you don't, look it up, man. He got the floor mopped with him. The economy is not recovering. It's not. The virus has not gone away. And on top of everything, we now have the George Floyd thing going on. Black Lives Matter has become one of the biggest movements for equal rights, if not the single biggest, maybe the most important movement for equal rights for all races we've ever seen. Because it's not just the United States that this is happening. It's not just a single country. It's everywhere. It's all over the world. It's in England. It's everywhere. It's in Norway. It's everywhere. It's all over the world. In Australia, protests were happening. All over the world, this is happening. And yet, the person we have in charge is a white racist. And if you do not believe that Trump is a white racist, then you do not pay attention to history. Yes, I am talking about the infamous when the looting starts, the shooting starts, but keep this in mind. Trying to back out of that, Trump said, I believe that came from a mayor or governor, or he may have been a police chief at the time of, I believe he said Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. I can't remember which. The person he was talking about, if you fact check that person, not only did he never say that, but the person he talks about that he admires so well, that he calls a great man, was known for using racial slurs, who ran for his office on a vote white campaign. You don't think Trump is a racist? He just removed discrimination protection against LGBTQ communities for Medicare, for medical coverage. He just removed the protection laws in place for the communities of transsexuals and bisexuals and gay and lesbian and asexuals and whatever else there is there. He just removed them. This is a man who said it was a great thing. It was a beautiful thing to watch the National Guard cut through protesters like a knife. Who lied about going down into a bunker for his protection, said he went down there for inspection, to which his attorney general said later on in an interview, without realizing it, things got so bad during the day that the Secret Service recommended to Trump that he go down into the bunker for his own safety. The same attorney general who said tear gas was not used, it was pepper spray and pepper balls. And pepper balls are not chemical irritants. Yet if you go to any website that has pepper balls on it for sale, or even just description, it says one of the most effective chemical irritants to use against crowds. Currently in Georgia, they had a huge debacle in their state election. People standing 6, 7, 8 hours just to cast a vote. People who waited after midnight because they refused to leave until they got to put in their vote. So technically they were voting the next day. In Iowa, they had mail-in ballots, and they had an immensely successful vote. Hundreds of thousands of people votes. The votes were tallied up very quick. Information was available right away. It was as successful a moment that you could ask for in mail-in ballots. It was all out 100% proof that mail-in voting can work and not be corrupt. And it went against everything Trump said. So what's the first thing that happens the very next day after that? An incredibly successful vote. The Republicans in Iowa are trying to pass a bill to prevent mail-in voting before the presidential election. This is your country. For those of you that live here, this is your country. This is the person that was voted into office. These are the things they are doing. These are the old guard. These are people who have been in power in terms of the Senate, in terms of local governments, governors, and mayors, and everything like this. These are people who have been in power for a very long time. Mitch McConnell and all this. These are people that have been in power a very long time, and they know that that power is slipping. They know that if they run things fairly, like we're supposed to be allowed in the Constitution itself, that they're going to lose that power. Everything's going to shift. Young people are starting to come up. So much of the protest is on the backs of younger people right now. So much of the protests are on the backs of younger people. More and more and more, we are in a transitional phase again. A new generation is coming up, a much better educated generation than has ever been. They truly want equality for everybody. They truly want things to be fair. And this old guard knows, these conservatives know that if they allow this, they will lose power. They will be voted out. Trump has said himself that mail-in voting is bad for Republicans. Trump has claimed about how bad voter fraud will be for mail-in voting. Keeping in mind right now, the only ones that appear to be doing any kind of voting suppression and look like they run the risk of actually doing mail fraud, voting fraud for mail, are the Republicans. The only confirmed case in the past 20 years of mail fraud was committed by a Republican. I, in my life, have never chosen a side, Democrat or Republican. I just always wanted whoever I thought was best to win. I didn't care if it was Republican. I didn't care if it was Democrat. I didn't. There are some good Republicans out there. You know, a lot of people, they call the Republican Party the Lincoln Party because Lincoln was a Republican. But, so I've never chosen a side. I've always just thought of who I wanted best. When it came down to Obama and Romney, I wanted Obama because I thought Obama was better. When it came down to Hillary and Trump, I honestly wanted Hillary because at least she was a politician. That's not necessarily a good thing, but it would have been better than what we have in there now. When it came down, I wanted. I was all fine with George Sr. being the president, not so much George Jr. I was all behind Bill Clinton being the president. Even young, I admired Ronald Reagan. Even as young as I was when he was president, I admired Ronald Reagan. I go back in history. JFK is definitely an amazing president. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is a great president. Teddy Roosevelt, a great president. You go back and you see all these great presidents, and I don't care what party you're affiliated with. Well, that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore. I will very rarely ever vote Republican ever again because of what is happening today, because of what I see many Republicans do. Republicans are so scared. They are so whipped that they are afraid to speak out against Trump because of what might happen. Trump has put out some incredibly offensive tweets, done some incredibly offensive things. And then when these Republicans are questioned on it, they run. They're like rats scurrying, abandoning ship. They're little cockroaches running into the shadows to hide. They do not vocally support, but they will not vocally speak out against Trump either. If these Republicans could take anything out of what's happening right now, it's that unity works. All those protests that are happening out there right now is because of unity. These Republicans could come together. They could unify against Trump. There are some that actually believe in what he says. I mean, we all know that because people are wanting to still vote for this idiot. But unity, because you can tell a lot of them have nothing they want to do with Trump and the things that he says. Former and current military leaders, 4-star generals, people that Trump has praised in his past. He's now saying they're idiots, they're dumbasses, they've never been that good because they're speaking out against him. Even a 4-star general who retired out of protest, said he would not speak ill of the president. He wouldn't do that, was forced to do that because something Trump did, gassing those protesters for a ridiculous photo op, was too much for him to stand by and be silent for. Colin Powell, somebody who could have been the first black president, spoke out against him. You don't know Colin Powell's history is he led the war in Iraq, because there was Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I know he was in charge in the Middle East. I don't know for sure, but when he came back, there were actually calls for him to be president. There were actually calls for him to be president, to run for the presidency. He could have easily been the first black president. Former Republicans are speaking out against Trump. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was very much a Republican, who campaigned for George Bush Jr., spoke out against Trump. You can't get much more Southern than NASCAR, who have gone and banned the Confederate flag from being flown at NASCAR events. But Trump does not want to rename military bases that are named after Confederate generals. This is what we face today, folks. This is the world that we have built because of who we put into office. This is the world we're living in right now. And I, for one, am scared because he said it himself, and I tend to feel the same way. Biden said he's afraid that Trump is going to steal the election. Trump is going to steal the election. And that's something I'm scared of. Because Trump talks about voter fraud as much as he's been talking about it. And they're doing everything they can for voter suppression. When voter suppression doesn't work, what's going to happen next? Voter fraud. I am terrified that they are going to try and commit some kind of voter fraud. I am terrified that they are going to try and do something to steal the election out from under Biden, who actually wins. This is why I'm hoping Biden wins by an overwhelming amount. An overwhelming amount. So that voter fraud won't matter. No matter how hard they try and suppress us, we need to get out there. We need to cast our vote. We need to make our vote count. We need to make our vote count. No. I don't care if I have to stand in line 8 hours. I don't care that I live in a small state where my vote's not going to amount to much, even for the electoral. I'm still going to vote. I don't care what it takes. Stop being cute. I, for one, am tired of this. America will not survive another 4 years with Trump in charge. It won't. We are slowly turning into a dictatorship. We are slowly having our freedoms stolen from us, ripped from us by a president who lies every day, who tweets baseless conspiracy theories, who throws out threats and insults versus anyone who speaks out against him. A man who says the coronavirus is under control, but yet wants everybody that's going to go to his rallies to sign a form that says they are not allowed to sue Donald Trump or anything having to anyone associated with Donald Trump if they catch the coronavirus or if they die from the coronavirus for going to his rallies. Yeah. He tells us that we have nothing to worry about from the coronavirus anymore. Everything's going down. Everything's in control. Everything's fine. We're going to start recovering. Then he turns around and he tells us, oh, but if you want to go to my rally, you got to sign a waiver because I don't want you suing me if you get the coronavirus. Honestly, folks, if Trump wins, I don't care what my mother thinks. I'm going to sell everything I can in this house, pack everybody up, including my mother, and move to England, somewhere, anywhere better than this. I'd rather live on the streets in Zimbabwe than be under Trump for another 4 years. I got to be honest. If it wasn't for the coronavirus, if I didn't have to be scared of the coronavirus, if everyone in my house could survive the coronavirus or have a very good chance of surviving it, which my mother does not if she were to get it, I'd be out there up in Boston right now protesting with everybody up there. I would. I believe it is time that things change, and I hope it changes within my lifetime. I do. because a lot of things need to change. Even our dollar bills, from our ones to our 100s, need to change. Because on the face of those bills are slave owners. You don't deny the great that they did, but there needs to be an asterisk next to each one of those names. George Washington. Well, not Abraham. Abraham could stay. George Washington, Andrew Jackson, possibly Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin did a lot of great things. He's a great inventor, made many things, but he was also a bit of a lech. A man that was sent to France, to help garner support and rally up support for the revolution, ended up going there and spending his time fraternizing with women of the French court, to the point that he almost didn't secure the French support that we needed in order to win. He got distracted and cared more for frolicking and basically kind of committing adultery than he did about getting support for the country. The names of the forts need to be changed. Statues need to be taken down. History should always remember what happened and the names that were there, but that doesn't mean that we glorify them and immortalize them. Guys like General Lee fought against the United States to continue owning slaves. They rebelled and tried to tear the United States in half. People who wanted to own slaves continue owning slaves. And yet we name forts after them. We build statues of them. Talk about how great men they were. No, they were the losers. They were the people who tried to divide the country for the sake of owning another man. We need to take them off our money. We need to rename the forts. What would be wrong with putting women on our money? What would be wrong with putting black people on our money? What would be wrong with putting someone like Martin Luther King or Frederick Douglass or Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks? What would be wrong with putting any of them on the money, replacing who's there? Well, yeah, those people did great things, but they were slave owners. They were slave owners. With the exception of Lincoln. Trump's solution was, I don't want to put like Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. We can put her on the $2 bill. The $2 bill that you almost never see because it's almost never used, and you wonder why it's even printed. I would give so much in this world to be able to stand on a podium across from Trump and debate him. Because he's so easily manipulated. He would be so easy to manipulate. If Biden ever debates Trump, he needs to not debate him. He needs to just bait, not debate, just bait him. Just bait him. Call him out on his lies. Say, oh, you talk about you went down to that bunker for inspection, but your man over here, Barr, said that Secret Service actually suggested that you went down there for your safety. They need to show videos of where he claims one thing and says another later on. They need to do things like this. They just need to show all the video evidence that contradicts everything he says. They just need to show how much of a liar he is. They need to bait him into being vicious. They need to bait him into being into just insulting. They just need to bait him into it. Show how ugly he is. I could go round and round and keep going on this, folks, but I won't. I'm already up to 45 minutes, and I believe a full 30 of it was me ranting at this point. So I am going to go. If I start going up on Twitch, I will link my Twitch channel down in the description below for what it's worth. It's like pretty much blank there right now, but I don't know. I may start. If I start, it's not going to be till after Monday. That's one more thing that's going to happen is my girlfriend a week from Monday is going to have to start looking for a job. The whole deal, I know I always do this. I say, I'm going to end everything. I keep talking. I wanted to get her in driving school bus, but obviously school shut down. Training shut down. Don't know what's going to happen come the fall. I'm probably going to be forced to go back to work. Which I want to work, but not when the virus is a threat, but that's probably what's going to happen. I'm not going to have much of a choice unless they keep things closed and extend unemployment and give us more benefits. So I don't want to send my girlfriend to have to go work in a McDonald's or Dunkin's or some kind of supermarket or whatever. I don't. Not only is it not the world's greatest job experience, but you're exposed to so many people. I mean, school bus driving's the same, but I didn't want to send her into driving school bus with COVID being around either. That's why I don't want her to go out there. I'm afraid she's going to get the virus, and she's going to bring it back. My mom's going to get it. But financially, I am a little bit concerned about the future. Right now it's fine, but I'm concerned about the future, so I need her to start paying her way as well. So that's going to be an interesting task, considering it's going to be the first job she's ever had outside of her mother's shop. It's not going to be an easy transition, not by any measure. But one step at a time, I guess. Either way, like I said, I need to end this video. So that's what's been going on, folks. My computer died. I had to spend a ton of money doing it. I am completely and utterly depressed, not only from that, but the way the world is in right now, because there's so much hope for the world right now with the massive amount of movement that's out there, but there's so much pushback against it from this old guard that's trying to suppress everything out there. I can't, my mind just, it can't handle it. It can't. So that's, all that combined is just why video stopped right after I get started. I haven't played SnowRunner much. I am playing World of Tanks a bit. I'm playing Maneater a lot. Maneater's been my game of flavor currently. But that may be what I play when I go online. I don't know. But until then, folks, anyways, this is going to be One Big Bug. I'm going to be signing out. I'll see you then.